on me. When everything was hot and heavy, going down, and Rob was talking trash back and forth, and there was like 9 websites new reports a day on this thing when everything was going down. Rob had like multiple fake accounts, like absolutely completely fake accounts that were set up like, yeah, I don't want to. It'll sound like I'm not, but they were set up definitely to be like dating accounts.
Okay.
Like Tinder or Grindr accounts or something, but they were like definitely not wrestling fan accounts, and it was like those dudes kept messaging me, talking trash and saying the same things and like misspelling the same words as Rob, and every single one of them in the thing said something. Don't throw. What is it? Oh man, I'm gonna misquote Piper.
Oh jeez.
Don't throw stones at a man with a machine gun. Is that the quote? Yeah. Don't throw stones at a man with a machine gun. And every single one of these guys, and again, they were definitely like Grindr Facebook accounts. So Rob has. I'm sure there's probably still 5 of his own accounts following me on Facebook. So whatever, it is what it is.
Well, now since that day, because that was WrestleMania was about a month ago. I want to say. Let's see.
Yeah, it's about that.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
So it's been we'll say about 5 weeks we've been back. So this happened a couple of days after Wrestlecon happened. So I was already home. I got home the Wednesday after, and I think either that Thursday or Friday you posted it. So has anything happened or anything since that point?
No, nothing. I've had no other interaction. Nobody said anything else. Nothing else has come about other than people. Then it refreshes people, and that's why then when you hit me up, you're like, dude, you got to come on. Especially after that, you had already hit me up a couple weeks prior, or I think you hit me up a couple months ago, and I was like, yeah, I'm kind of like done talking about it, because I had a lot of requests of people asking. And in the beginning, I wanted as many people to know as possible, so I was saying, yeah, sure. And then, like, 2 days before, they'd be like, oh, we're good to go for, Thursday or Friday. And 2 days before, they'd be like, oh, we got a cease and desist threat from Rob and all this. And I'm just like, many guys lay down about it as soon as he starts with his threat. So I did get burnt out, which is exactly what I'm sure he wanted. But so then when you had first asked, I was just like, whatever. It's kind of like a dead horse. Like, I feel like so many people have seen it by now. But then once he said something, and I was like, yeah. And then actually, Piper's birthday just passed, and like everybody was posting pictures with him, and I remembered how I felt, because I was a big Piper fan, and it sucked that Piper died. You know how it goes when one of your favorites dies. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you remember how you felt when Piper died. And so that sucked. And then within the 3 days of it, I'm like fighting with some guy who's tarnishing like his like the whole thing. So it hurt really bad. And the whole time I just kept thinking like, nah, man, like stick with it. Make sure as many people know about this, because like to defend Piper, So once this kind of got reopened up at WrestleCon, and then Piper's birthday passed, I was like, yeah, let's start let's start reminding people, because there are people like you, that have missed it the initial time. So
it's funny because I reached out to you, I would say the month before WrestleCon about it, because it was other Feinstein things going on that were questionable, especially after Bobby Heenan's passing. He literally posted things of Bobby Heenan for sale hours after the announcement that he was dead, which turned a lot of people off. And you were like, I don't want to talk about blah blah. But as soon as I saw your post for WrestleCon, I hit you up, and I think my exact words was like, "Bro, come on, you got it now." Yeah.
It was basically you like, dude, you got it. And I was like, yeah, you're correct. I got it. That's always, you could write a 3-paragraph message to me, telling me every reason you think I have to, and I'll be like, and then but you just go, bro, you gotta. Yeah.
I kept it short and sweet.
Yeah, that's it, man.
But it's it sucks that you have to go through this, not only is just being a fan of Piper, but, him smearing, your name, because like you said, your name is on those art, that print.
Right.
And, anybody now who has this print has to question, shit, really? I bought a phony, I bought a fake print. Like, how much other stuff have I bought from this guy that's not real?
Right, or really what I was most concerned was that people would remember the image and just be like, oh yeah, the guy who sells that's an asshole, and then like I'm selling it, and they remember they think I'm the asshole at that point because they don't know who, you know what I'm talking about. It's like association. It's like just seeing it, you associate bad things with it, and it was my work, so it's like, it sucks, man. It really sucks.
He bought, besides the Piper, did he buy other stuff from you?
He bought other ones from me too, yeah. And he said something about, like, when he was there, it was funny. He said something about he bought Undertaker ones and a couple of Hulk Hogan ones, and he said, he was with his buddy. He was like, we could do the Undertaker one, right? And like at the time, I just felt like, he meant like he had some sort of signing with Undertaker. But then you have to wonder what he meant when he said that afterwards. Like we have a solid Undertaker signature that we can copy, right? Because I don't want to tell people how to do it, but it kind of is easy to do that stuff now with technology nowadays.
Oh, absolutely. And the rumor is that was kind of filtering through Wrestlecon, not so much in the convention, but afterwards in the streets of people who know each other, that he actually purchased an auto pen.
Yeah, exactly.
So who's to trust anything he sells now?
Yeah. So I mean, and when it was going on with Piper, like I had people message me like crazy. Like, here, talk about this. Talk about when he did these fakes and of belts. He would announce, hey, look, I just got these European belts, and 4 days later, hey, I got these signed European belts, 15 signatures on them. It's like, okay. But everybody wanted me to hey, mention when he did this to me or this and that. And I was like, I appreciated hearing all that, and I was like, hey, comment on anything that I post and bring that up. But again, I didn't want any focus to be taken away from what I was trying to do, which was not anything to promote myself or bring him down for anything else that he did. It's just I want people to know that he did this with this. This story. I want people to know this story right here. That was my focus and what I've tried to stay true to.
Yeah, I mean, and you're just, reading your blog and reading the post that you made on Facebook and listening to you today, there's no one that can sit here and say that you're trying to put yourself over, you're trying to promote, your artwork or anything else. You're just, trying to let people know to be cautious of what to purchase, not only from him, just in general. Do your homework, folks. I mean, if Rob Feinstein announces that he's bringing in, let's say, Rich Swann, who he brought in for a big event back in March, and he's selling Rich Swann's stuff, that makes sense. But if you haven't seen him, it makes sense. But if you haven't seen him do any signings with, let's say, Baron Corbin, and there was no announcement or anything about him doing business with Baron Corbin, and all of a sudden now he's selling Baron Corbin Indy 8x10s, it makes you scratch your head and say, where the hell did that come from?
And the dude strikes me as somebody who's trying to make $1. He goes and sets up in the mall a table sometimes. It's like the dude's trying to make $1 any chance he can. So I seriously doubt that he's ever sitting on autographs that he has. Mm-hmm. So to me, it sounds insane that anytime somebody dies, he's like, well, time to break out these ones that I've been holding for a while. Like, bro, you would have been having those for sale everywhere you're at if you've been sitting on them for a while. You're not just sitting on them waiting for somebody to die.
No, absolutely not. He seems like the guy that probably has an Etsy account, eBay, probably sells things on Facebook Marketplace, all the wrestling sites throughout Facebook. So there's so many ways of selling old merchandise that there's no way that you would sit on anything.
Right, he's setting up at Indy shows all the time.
Yes.
He's setting up. He sets up tables anywhere he can. He's like Virgil. He's got, you know what I mean? You get off the subway, he's sitting there with his fucking DVDs. Like, the dude's not sitting on autograph.
Yeah, he's not sitting on autograph. Autograph 11 by 17, hand painted prints with a Hall of Fame autograph on it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. We just died.
Yeah. And let me ask you this: did he ever present?
Like, we're
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, we're completely like briefly summarizing, especially because I mean, it's not worth getting into every single detail and
Right.
confusing people who are listening. But go to the website. You can just type in the words "my experience with Rob Feinstein." I think you said you did it with just Rob Feinstein, Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
Or the actual website address is coconuttothehead.wordpress.com, and I've got screencasts of every single story that Rob tried to tell and then back out of, and like he got X-Pac to like corroborate his story, and that was BS, and like there's so many like great. It's a great story, but I think it's presented best on that website with like every single piece of evidence, and you go look at it, and then like you'll feel like there's no way you wouldn't convict the guy after you read everything I believe on there.
Now, there was one thing that I read on that page I just wanted to ask you about. Now, he bought them from you. He claims that he bought the ones that he had signed that he purchased earlier at another time, and he still had yours not signed. Did you ever see them presented to you unsigned after?
Never once tried. He said, okay, so I said, dude, if you're telling the truth, send me a photograph right now of all the unsigned ones. And he goes, I'll send it to you in 1 minute. I'm in the car right now. And if you look, it says sent from web, which means he's sitting at his laptop. I have a screen cap of that on the thing. So it's like he made up a story there even, but he never showed any of it. I offered at one point, I was like putting a price out on his head where I was like, dude, I'll pay you X amount of dollars. I'll buy them all back. I'll give you this for the ones that are unsigned. Give them to me, and I'll pay you whatever. And he never replied to that. He just glazed over it and focused on whatever he thought sounded good. And then every time he thought of like, what would be good? Like this would make it even better. And then you'd see him come out with a new story and change it up and leave out some of the details that completely prove that wrong. Again, there's so many. He changed the story 25 times. Easily. And in the end, it's like, some dude 5'11" with brown hair gave me those the day after Piper died. Gave them to me in trade for shoot videos that you could watch for free on YouTube. Right. You know what I mean? Like, some dude's eager to get rid of his signed autograph, Roddy Piper autograph, the morning after he died for Rob Feinstein art video, shoot video.
But with your signature on the bottom of the photos.
Right, exactly.
That 11 by 17s that you didn't sell prior.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, anybody who could do simple math can put 2 and 2 together and know that it still equals 4.
Exactly.
So, Chris, I do appreciate you coming on, man, and it definitely enlightens people to know to beware of what they buy, not just from him, but from anybody. Just do a little research.
From anybody.
Yeah.
From anybody. From absolutely anybody. And if you go look, I mean, forgeries pass all the time. Because that was what his claim was all the time. These will pass. He never once says, like, hey, no, these are real. He goes, these will pass. Every single place he posted comment, his comments on what was going on, he's just going, no, I promise these will pass. No. I mean, they might pass even. But they're not real. They're definitely not real.
Well, again, I
have 20 different things signed by Piper, and you catch him at the beginning of the day, it's a lot different than at the end of the day. You catch him in the beginning of a 20-piece bulk signing, it's definitely a lot different by the end of the 20 pieces. So, I mean, a lot of stuff is legit signature, and it changes, man. So, a sloppy auto pen or a sloppy forgery can pass.
Yep. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And one thing they always tell you is that somebody can sign something 10 times and it might look different 8 out of the 10 times.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
Oh well. Yeah, sorry.
Again, man, thank you for having me on, dude. I do appreciate that anybody does still care. because it is kind of important, man. And,